Hi and welcome to another edition of OnSide SA, where we'll be talking to our international pundit Stevie B's in the London studio. He'll be talking to us. We'll have him on the line any moment. We're running back into our Premier League soccer matches. We're off also doing our South African soccer. There's a couple of championship games. Budge, it looks like a good weekend, but we always start with the last one standing.
Yep.
And I see you've got your sheet here. Any fancies to win it?
Well, James Goodman's had a lot to say.
Jimbo.
Yeah. I'd hate to be in your office winning ways if he does win it, Paul.
Yeah.
But he's got big teams to use.
What about Curry's boys?
Well, Mark's got 3 of his troops left. So, difficult week this, Paul.
Yeah.
This is a big week, week 7. So, difficult.
Just looking at the last one standing, correct me if I go wrong here. 47 left.
Yeah.
Favourite, James Goodman. Now, that top of the boards. James
Shrudy, he's a Shrudy.
Second favourite, Gavin Wright, the
Gav's
baseballer.
got a couple of big teams as well to use. So
Okay,
we'll
and then who've got 2 picks? George Salensis, Trevor Free, Phil Georgia. My clients.
Your clients, yeah.
And then Mark Curry's team have got 3 left. So this is the big one.
This is a big week.
This is the
They've
big
all
big
used,
one.
majority of them have used the bigger clubs.
Yeah.
And they all squeaked in with United last time, all 34 of them.
Yes.
Otherwise, it would have been 13 left. So,
That's
big
a
week.
late goal by Sanchez.
Yeah, my brother in America is still at Ian, so he sneaked a sneaky team. So, we'll see how clever he is this week.
A very popular last one standing. Let's see if we've managed to get hold of Stevie B. Any chance of Stevie B being on the line? It should be any moment now. Stevie, you there?
I'm here. Good morning.
Morning, Steve.
Steve, how was the trip to Madeira?
Very nice, thank you. It was nice to get away so I didn't get ribbed by all the Arsenal fans in the office.
Yeah, I can imagine. Just, Steve, we're going to talk to you about a couple of things, but opening salvo has to be England's big win against Spain away. Fantastic first half.
Well, and, you couldn't have predicted it. In fact, just to tell you a story, so I was actually flying when the game started, and when I landed, I saw a text to say England were playing quite well, but it was 3-0, and I thought, oh well, they're playing well, but they're 3-0 down at half time. I hadn't realised that we were actually winning 3-0.
Yeah.
You couldn't have predicted that at all. I don't think.
No, I don't know where the Spanish defence went, but I think they're in trouble, Spain, especially defensively. Ramos last legs. I'm not a lover of Marcos Alonso at the highest level. But obviously they had the possession, but defensively, and I don't know what it is, but David De Gea looks a statue in goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was just. I think it was just. I mean, Gareth Southgate got tactics spot on. I mean, they played. They ran at them with pace, and I mean, at the end of the day, they were clinical, and obviously, good for Raheem Sterling. I mean, he took his goal exceptionally well. Having missed sort of far more easier chances over the last 3 years. I mean, he took that. And as they said, that's sort of very reminiscent. The finish was of the Michael Owen World Cup goal against Argentina.
Yeah, one guy that flew under the radar I thought played quite well was Ross Barkley.
Yeah,
he can play him. He's obviously learned a lot.
It just shows that he's getting some game time at Chelsea, and it's obviously making a huge difference. I mean, he's a very talented young player, and obviously lost his way a little bit, and with injuries, he's been out the frame. But I think the fact that he's playing at Chelsea a little bit, I think is good for his confidence. And he looked every inch the sort of playmaker that we needed in the middle.
Steve, who is the oldest English player on the field?
Someone pretty young, actually. I mean, when you think it was the youngest team
since '59,
yeah, since 1959, the youngest team. That's amazing.
I'm sure who the oldest was actually.
The oldest, I think, might have been Dyer.
Wasn't the right back? Tottenham Man City right back.
No, you mean Carl Walker?
Carl Walker.
I thought they said Dyer.
Yeah,
I could.
Yeah, I would have thought Carl Walker is older than Dyer, but that's.
I would have thought so as well. Yeah. But very good, and
I mean, it's an exceptional performance, and let's hope they can carry it on when they play against Croatia at home. I mean, they should have won in Croatia.
Yeah.
Second half played very well, and if they can finish with the same sort of clinical style, they've got every chance then of certainly finishing very close to Spain in the group.
Yeah. Did you watch maybe you couldn't have been flying the Germany-Holland game or Germany-Netherlands game?
Yeah, I mean, that was Holland's biggest win in decades, evidently, against the Germans. Germany having a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And then lost again, Germany and France.
Yeah, I thought they played well in the second game against France. They were all over them. You know, Leroy Sané missed a chance at 1-0.
He should have scored.
You know, and then they went down a couple of minutes and scored. But there's trouble in that German camp. You can see it, yeah.
But it's just so unusual to see sort of Germany losing competitive games like that.
6 of 10.
They very rarely lose competitive games, or sort of group games, as it were, or sort of competitive games leading up to a tournament. So
Yeah.
Joachim Löw's got a little bit to think about there.
Steve, let's talk Premiership. We've got 3 little points we want to just run through with you. And the first one has got to be, what's the latest on the Liverpool injury news? Steve, you there?
Yeah, sorry, you just cut out. You said, what's the latest on the Liverpool something?
Injury news.
Liverpool injuries.
Yeah.
They've obviously got quite a few at the moment. It's looking like Mane will be out for a little while. Salah's out for a little while. They're hoping Henderson, hoping that Van Dijk may be back. I think they need to get those players back very soon. I mean, they've got a game that they should be winning on paper at the weekend. But after that, obviously they're got a slightly tougher run in.
Yeah. The big game's got to be Chelsea, Man United. Am I right, Budge?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. What do you think, Steve?
Well, I mean, Chelsea have had the beating of United recently, haven't they? So
Yeah.
it's a bit of a test for Mourinho, I think, having had a sort of a couple of weeks break after the Newcastle game. My own thoughts is I think if they can't stop Hazard, I think Chelsea will win that.
Yeah, I agree. Just funny feeling that we may get something, Steve. It's the lunchtime kickoff after the international break.
See what, it's a funny feeling. I'm laughing.
Time away for some of the players, and they've come back. Some of them, I say, refreshed, and they played a couple of games. But it might be that sort of everyone having a break from each other, they may come back. You just don't know. International breaks are funny things.
Yeah.
Sometimes players, their heads get turned a little bit when they're talking with their teammates from other clubs. The papers here are saying that all the French players at Barcelona are trying to convince Pogba to go there. You never quite know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, Stevie, the big game's got to be for you, Cardiff and Fulham. It's a massive game.
Well, it's a must-not-lose game for
Yeah.
us. There's no question. I think Neil Warnock was probably looking at the fixture list, thinking this is one they have to win. They've got a very tough next few games, Cardiff, and I think they will be targeting us, especially with our sort of defensive frailties. But we can't afford to lose there. We went there last year and played very well and won 4-2. I think we've got to be brave and attack them.
Yeah, you got the players to beat them.
Definitely, but I think that they will be in our face. I think that's their style. I think they'll be very physical. They'll be in our face from the off. And I think we've just got to withstand that pressure and create our own chances and take them. We haven't been anywhere near clinical enough. We've created quite a lot of chances, but just not, apart from Mitrovic, nobody else is really looking that sharp in front of goal.
Did you miss? Sorry, Budge. Just look at 2 games Cardiff played, Arsenal and Spurs. They were 2 very good efforts by Cardiff.
Yeah, and I thought they were a little bit unlucky against Burnley. They didn't deserve to lose to Burnley. But as you say, Steve, it's at home. If they can't beat you at home, then it's really going to be a long season. I think they could be gone by Christmas. Yeah.
I think so, and I think we're looking at that as a game that we must try and get something from.
No,
they're looking at it as a game that they know they have to get something from. Some of the pundits are sort of writing them off already. It's probably a little bit premature, but I think if we were to win there, I think I think the writing would be on the wall for Cardiff.
Steve, another team that face a must-win game this week is Newcastle at home to Brighton. What's the news? I haven't heard, obviously, with the international break. There's been not much about Benitez in the papers.
No, it's all gone very quiet. I think the international break sort of gives some of the Premier League teams and the managers a little bit of a bit of breathing space. I'm not aware that anything has happened behind the scenes in the last week or so at Newcastle. But as you say, Brighton really don't travel very well, so it's a big game for Newcastle. I think it's got a draw written all over it, unless Newcastle can show form which they haven't really shown this season.
Steve, on to the Championship. I see, as we know, he spoke last week, Dean Smith takes over Villa. You think he can get off to a winning start against Swansea?
I think that's a tough game for them.
Yeah.
Swansea a little bit up and down this season, but they've had a couple of good results. I was very surprised that last time out Villa had a shocking performance and lost at Millwall. I think they've got to be targeting that, otherwise they start to fall away. I think it'll be a very tight game. I don't think it'll be more than one goal in it.
Yeah, and the big game seems to be Derby against Sheffield United. I can't believe Sheffield United have jumped to the top of the league.
Yeah, no, I mean, very surprised. I mean, last season they started off very well, Sheffield United, and then they fell away. And this season they've done, they're doing even better without really adding to their squad particularly. I think they just seem to have a sort of style of play that sort of suits them, and Billy Sharp's still in the goals. I think that'll be a tough game. I mean, again, Derby have been very inconsistent. They sort of win one, lose one almost. I think again that's probably got a draw written all over it. But I think that to me is the game of the day in the Championship.
Definitely, yeah.
Stevie, I know it's very early in the season, but we want an early call from you. They've priced up the betting for the Golden Boot, the top goal scorer in the Premier League. Now, before we ask you what the betting is or what you think the betting is, who do you think will win the Golden Boot this year? It's a long way out and it's early call.
Well, I can't see Hazard continuing to score at the rate he has. I think he's done exceptionally well, but I'd be very surprised. If Mo Salah doesn't seem to have his shooting boots on, I think it's still. I still have Harry Kane as favourite. I think if he stays injury-free, he will score goals. Mo Salah obviously had an exceptional season, but he just doesn't seem to be firing in quite the same way. So I think it's going to be between Salah and Kane this season.
Aguero?
Sorry?
Sergio Aguero?
Again, Aguero, but I think City score a ton of goals, but they share them around.
Yeah, and he doesn't always start.
Either Aguero. So, he will score goals, he always does, but I think because he doesn't start every game, sometimes comes off as well, City will score probably more goals than anybody else, but they all chip in, whereas someone like Tottenham, I mean, when Kane's on song, he does get majority of their goals. And the same with Salah last season.
Well, Stevie, I'm pleased the way you've broken it down, because here's the official betting at the moment. Harry Kane with 5 goals is 5-2. Sergio Aguero is 3-1 with 5 goals. 5-1 Eden Hazard with 7 goals. 8-1 Mo Salah with 3 goals. 12-1 Aubameyang with 4 goals. And 14-1 Budgie's favourite striker, Lukaku.
Yeah. He scored a couple this week.
I mean, look, as we know, Lukaku does score goals, but he doesn't tend to score that many against the big teams. And United, just are not playing with that sort of style where they're scoring hatfuls every game. So, again, he's probably Lukaku should be their top scorer, but I don't think he's going to get within 5 of Salah if Salah's fit or Kane.
Steve, I'm disappointed you never said Mitrovic, your centre forward because he scored a few good.
I'd love him to score 20 goals.
Yeah.
I think if he did score sort of 20 goals plus, I think we'd have a job holding on to him.
Yeah.
It's great that he's scoring, but I'd like to see some of the others chip in with a few more as well.
Yeah.
So
that's time Schürrle turned up.
Goals, I think that would be an exceptional tally for him in our first season back.
Okay.
Well, Stevie, we're thinking about you when you play Cardiff. It's going to be a tough one. Yeah. And it looks like Budge, it's a good weekend's football.
And some big games, especially Sunday night, Barcelona, Seville.
Without Premier League football, we all get withdrawal symptoms, so it's good. And there's a Championship game on Friday night. Otherwise, the Premier League
Sheffield
games,
Wednesday.
The majority are on, because they've not had midweek games, the majority of the games are all on Saturday, which is good.
Yeah.
And then we got one on Sunday and one on Monday.
Excellent. All right, Stevie, that's wonderful to talk to you again, and thanks very much for the updates.
Pleasure.
And we'll talk to you next week.
Good luck. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye-bye. There we go, the legend, Stevie B. Stevie Graham, he's our pundit in the London studio, knows his football like Budge, they know it backwards. Let's talk about the AFCON qualifiers, because I was incensed the other day. Let's just start off with South Africa 6, Senegal 0. They played well.
Scored early. Yeah.
Nigeria thumped Libya.
All the top boys came back, Iwobi, and they all came back. So
4-0.
4-0, yeah.
Then, Tuesday, South Africa, the Bafana go down to Seychelles.
shocking.
They're rated 189th in the world, and there's no score.
Yeah.
But you watched a bit of it.
Yeah, I watched all of it, Paul. You know, the pitch was an artificial pitch. Nothing wrong with the pitch. I know it did bobble a little bit, but it's far better than some of the pitches you see. I watched Rwanda play a while back, and it was like a sandpit. You know, where with the 2010, FIFA came in and made sure a lot of the smaller nations got decent pitches to play football.
Yeah.
So the artificial pitch, it did bobble, but that wasn't the excuse.
They had
the guy
chances.
hit the crossbar from 2 yards out. It was an anemic performance.
It puts pressure on us for nothing.
Now
Do you
we're in
agree?
serious trouble.
We
We were
got-
just lucky that Libya got beat. Nigeria scored late on to beat them.
So would
3-2.
Nigeria and South Africa go through? All
Well,
things being equal.
I think Nigeria almost through. They've got Seychelles at home to play, so they'll beat them. So that's them through. It's between us and Libya. Now, our next game is in November. We play Nigeria at home. And then we have to travel in March to Libya. Well, the game's in Tunisia because Libya aren't allowed to play at home. So the games they play in Tunisia.
Neutral ground.
Neutral ground for them. That's their home ground. So we got to get 2 points. We need 3 points to win, but if we draw with Nigeria and we get beat by Libya, we're out. So that 2 points was crucial.
Just let me look at the log. I just want to get this right in my head, Budge. Nigeria are leading with 9 points. South Africa got 8.
Yeah.
Have we all played the same amount of games?
All amount of games, yeah. There's 2 games left.
So
Libya have the Seychelles
so we
to
dropped
play.
2 points, Budge.
Yeah, that 2 points is crucial.
Right, with Libya we drew.
We drew at home 0-0, yeah.
So we got 1 point there.
Yeah.
We got 3 from South, took us to
And
4.
we beat Nigeria 2-0 away. That was our first game. That was a great result.
That'll carry us through.
Well, let's hope so, Paul. But
8
if
points,
we need a draw to go to Libya, you know, it's not easy going away looking
No, but
for
we
a
might
draw.
not need it.
Well, we've got to beat Libya's next game is the Seychelles. They should beat the Seychelles.
Yes.
Now
they'll
that
go
puts
to 7 and we'll still be on
Now
8
we
if we
play
lose.
Nigeria. If we draw with Nigeria, that's 9. So then our last game is Libya away.
Can't afford to lose.
Can't afford to lose. Yeah, that's the key. But if we've got the 2 points against Seychelles, then we've got 10 points, needing 1 point to go through.
Yeah.
Terrible result.
Shocking.
Terrible.
All right, well, let's go on to the Premier League fixtures, Budge, and everyone gets excited. As Steve said, you're going to withdrawals if you can't watch the games. Saturday, 1:30. Chelsea 7-10, Man United 4-1.
Yeah,
A lot of people are saying, Budge, keep interrupting you. A lot of people are saying that comeback could be the turning point in their season because they have the quality to match
Well,
anybody.
let's hope so. We haven't got the quality in defence, but let's have a go, Paul. I think that's what the fans, I speak to a lot
Second
of them.
half you had a go.
We 2-0 down at home. And Newcastle, remember, second bottom of the league. So it's
Yes.
not like we are playing Liverpool. But it was a get out of jail, but not easy to go to Chelsea, Paul. Mourinho has got to get off this bus. He's got to go there and say, listen, guys, let's have a go. If you get beat having a go, the fans would accept it.
He's been charged for swearing in Portuguese.
Ah, Paul, the swearing, the language from the kids in England, disgraceful. So whether he swears in Portuguese doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I think the best we can get from this game is a draw. I don't see us winning it.
Surprise package, Bournemouth, Southampton, going to be strugglers.
Yeah. The thing is, this is a local derby. Now, I don't know what's gone on. When I watched Southampton against Chelsea, they've got a couple of good players. That Lamina in the midfield. When he first came, Paul, I thought he was going to be another good quality midfield player that they'd sell for big money. That Romelu, the Brazilian midfield player,
He's always
been
had
on the bench.
ability, but he's got ability.
Yeah, he can play. They've got good
What
players.
about that boy Garibaldi or something?
Gabbiadini up front.
He's
They've
up
got
and down.
Martin.
I see they're making him work a bit now. He used to be a lone ranger. Now he's getting back for corners.
I think if ever there's an upset this week, being
Could
a
be.
local derby, this could be it. Bournemouth do concede goals. I know they're hard to beat at home and they have improved. But local derbies, don't be surprised if this is a draw, Paul.
Cardiff, Fulham, they're just about joint favourites.
I've been impressed with the Cardiff the last 2 games. We were on Burnley, one of our bets, and Cardiff didn't deserve to lose. But they just have a bad habit of conceding goals at the wrong time. Tough game for Fulham. They've 8 league games, Fulham. They've conceded at least 2 goals in 7 of them.
Ooh.
So they better tidy up at the back, but desperation.
Man City, didn't they one of these the past few years
They have
draw
had
to Burnley?
Yeah, they've had a couple of bad results. But Paul, they've won 20 of the last 22 games. The only game they lost was Man United at home. Remember, they were 3-2 up.
3-2.
Should have been 7 at half time. And then they drew the last game of last year against Huddersfield. It was the same day they were getting the trophy. So nobody was interested in the game.
Yeah.
But can't look past Man City, Paul.
1-14.
Yep.
Whoa.
Now, the next game, Paul, Newcastle have lost all 4 games at home.
That's amazing.
Well, they lost to Arsenal, Chelsea,
Big sides.
Tottenham, and Leicester. They were disappointing. It's a must-win game for them. Brighton away from home can't win.
Yeah.
Haven't won in the last.
So you've
I think
got to
it's
get on to
19.
Newcastle.
This is it.
Yeah.
Newcastle do look
Duck or no dinner.
duck or no dinner, Paul. But you just can't trust them.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a game they've got to win.
Now West Ham have been a bit of a jinx side for Spurs. I was looking back because I'm on the
the group
Tottenham
of the boys.
the group of the boys, and they show goals from those games. And there's
But
been
none
some.
of those games are at Upton Park or the Berlin ground. Now they beat you 1-0 late on last year.
Do you
I
remember
fancy
that?
Spurs big time here, Paul.
Yeah.
Harry Kane played well the other night.
Yeah, first of all, he's that pass to put up the Man United striker.
Rashford, but just even the goal that he laid back for Sterling, the third one, he's a class above.
Class above.
West Ham going forward aren't bad, but I just worry. Arnautovic, they've been playing for Austria, come back. I fancy Spurs 8 to 10s in all our bets.
You're a good man.
And it's not
Butch.
to keep you happy either. I just
Another
think
surprise package, Wolves.
Yeah, Wolves. You got to go for Wolves. I haven't been on the bus for a while, even though I watched them. They beat Palace 1-0 away.
Have Watford fallen apart?
Yeah, I just.
They caught 4-0 to knock me out of the
But
last one standing.
they had a player sent off before half time, but still, you don't lose 4-0 at home. Trick game for Wolves, but the way they play, they're going, I think it's for 9 consecutive, the same 11, a record. The last 8 games, Wolves haven't made a change.
Wolves, eh?
So, the poor Nuno's got them flying, Paul, and
He's
I
good.
think they're
He's
top
good.
manager.
Those Portuguese boys can play.
He
They
can play. He's been very shrewd. 8 to 10 in our bets.
Now,
Paul.
Huddersfield are playing against a Liverpool side that's full of injuries, but full of quality.
Well, the thing is, if Sane and Mane aren't playing, if Sadio Mane's not playing, who's going to play? You're trusting Sturridge in a game. This is going to be a panel-beating game.
Yes.
You've got to fancy Liverpool. There'll be goals in this game.
3 to 10, a bit thin.
Bit thin, I think. So I think Huddersfield will score. They'll be like the old Stoke, be bombarding them from everywhere. Physical game, but you've got to fancy Liverpool.
Chris Sutton, you remember Chris Sutton?
Yeah, centre forward, yeah.
He put in the papers in England the other day that the 3 best players in the world are Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Van Dijk.
Well,
he said he's the
he's a
classest actor in defence in the world, he said. He showed him for his country, for the Netherlands.
He's playing with 2 broken ribs too, so we'll see what happens here.
Has he got 2 broken ribs?
2 broken ribs, that's why I never played against
Huddersfield, that'll
Belgium.
be first tackle, will be interesting. Interesting game, but I think Liverpool have got too much quality. Everton in 11th place.
Well, the story, just reading this morning, Wilfried Zaha didn't play for the Ivory Coast in midweek. Apparently he's got a hamstring injury, he's got a strain. If he doesn't play, they don't win.
Yes.
They lose, I think last 11 games, he hasn't played, they lost all 11.
Not even a draw.
Everton at home, Paul, they'll be dangerous. They won their last 2 games under Mini Mourinho. Got to fancy Everton, but it all depends on Zaha. If Zaha doesn't play, empty out. If he does play, I think there'll be plenty of goals in that.
Arsenal 5 to 10 against Leicester. Interesting game.
Upset of the week, Paul. I just think that Vardy against that back four, they'll sit all over the top.
They're playing well though.
Playing well, Arsenal, but defensively,
yes,
they're dodgy.
that coach.
He's good, Paul. He won 3
under
Europa Leagues.
Yeah,
He's done a good job at Seville.
He's done a good. Arsenal are becoming very good.
Well, they won their last 6 league games, but this is a tough test. I don't know. I don't see them winning that one. That's my upset of the weekend.
All right. Now the guys that like to punt on the champions.
Yeah, best league to punt in. Difficult, but value.
Yeah. When we finish, I know I've been asked for you to give your best bet.
Okay, yeah.
Of the leagues, this is your best bet and your best value bet. Okay. So save it for the end because I've been tasked to get that from you. So guys walk into the betting shop, they'll take the best bet and the best value bet. The value bet is what you're good at. Right, let's go championship fixtures, Butch.
Unfortunately, we missed the game on Friday. If ever there's a game, there should be goals in it. It's this one. Sheffield Wednesday, unbeaten at home. I think it's 8 games. Middlesbrough under Tony Pulis.
They're favourites.
Going well, I've got to be favourites, Paul. They'll be close to going up. A tight game, but draw a big player for me in that game, Paul. But I think it'll be 1-1, 2-1, or one of those games.
Leeds?
I fancy the lunchtime kickoff, Unbeaten, best away record. Blackburn going well at home, Paul.
They are.
Only Sheffield United beat them at home this year. They beat them 2-0 in the last game, but
this will be interesting.
Good game, Paul.
Good game to watch.
Lunchtime kickoff.
Aston Villa, new boss, 15th or 13th or wherever they are.
Paul, they've won one of the last 10. Now, you can blame Steve Bruce, but I don't think he's a bad manager at all.
No.
Bringing a guy in from Brentford for Aston Villa. Tubbs took me to Brentford, had photos at the ground.
Tubbs Riddell.
Yeah, I'm on Andrew, And small ground. He's gone from Brentford to Aston Villa. Massive change.
Well,
he's going to struggle. No, good luck to him.
Wasn't he a Villa player?
He's a Villa, his whole family support Villa. You know, I don't like Villa in this game. I think Swansea will get at least a draw in that. Sneaky team,
Okay.
Swansea. You know, and Brentford too, they've
seventh.
lost. Yeah, you know, I fancy Bristol City here, Paul. You know, you lose a manager and he left. It wasn't like he got fired.
He went for the bigger
So he
job.
went for the bigger job. Now, if you're a player, you know, it's not easy. I think Bristol City can get a draw there, Paul, upset the apple carts in that game.
Hull City used to be in the top 10 of
Hull
the Premier
City
League.
had
They're
the biggest
24th.
pitch in the Premiership when they 2 years ago when
What's
they were
that?
in it. I think it's the KC Stadium they play at. It was the biggest pitch in the Premiership. Maybe that's why they went down with that lesser team. Playing my boys Preston, you know, last 2 games we beat Wigan 4-0 at home. We drew 3-3.
That's your
at
away
Villa.
record.
Shocking. You know,
One draw, 5 defeats.
Yeah, but we've played all the top teams. That's the only thing. I think we get at least a draw there, Paul. I don't see us getting beat by Hull.
Next
now,
one.
the guy we always abuse, the Wally with the Blorry, Steve McLaren. They've come right. The last 8 games, they've won 4 of them. Ipswich at home are struggling.
They're way down in the log, though.
Yeah, I know, but they've come right the last few weeks. So I think QPR can get a result at Ipswich, Paul.
Forest for Swerve.
Yeah, I like Forest. You know, Karanka, Mourinho's best mate's done a good job. They've only lost 1 game all year. 12 to 10's in our bets.
Mourinho's got mates.
Yeah, I think it's his
Got
right-hand
one.
man,
Yeah.
Aitor Karanka.
Okay, so you like
Well,
Notts
Norwich,
Forest.
their main striker is a guy who plays for Finland. And it was on the other night, and he pulled a hammy during the game. He went to cross it and just pulled up. Now, if he's not playing, they're not going to score many goals. That's why I've gone for Forest.
Reading Millwall,
Yeah.
bottom of log.
Well, yeah, Reading's Paul Clement, the guy that
Yes,
was at Bayern Munich, Swansea guy. Millwall away from home are terrible. You know, Reading at home haven't done well, but they've got better results away from home than at home. So I think Reading can turn it around here, Paul, and get a result.
Rotherham.
Well, Rotherham will only stay in the league if with their home form. They've lost all 6 away games. Bolton started off the league great, but they've struggled the last few weeks. It's do or die for Rotherham, 12 to 10, Paul.
Stoke City.
Yeah, another game. Birmingham are unbeaten in 8. They've drawn 2 and lost 6. They
Who's
beat
it?
Leeds.
Gee,
Gary Monk, the guy that was
Gary
at
Monk,
Swansea, good
yeah.
job. You know, Stoke are slowly coming back into. They've
Yeah.
won 3 of the last 4. Ironically, the game they lost was when we were on them, but so we're not on them this week. But a tough game, Paul.
West Brom is second, Budge.
Yeah, I fancy West Brom. I think they're the best team in the league by miles. Never easy going to Wigan, but I think West
Maybe
Brom will
that's
beat
your
them.
best bet. Who knows?
Yep.
Derby County,
Another
Sheffield.
tight game, Paul. 22 to 10, the draw. Steve alluded to it earlier. You know, Derby under Frank Lampard, don't
Done
get
well.
beat at home. Sheffield
well.
United won their last 4. Tight game. It's a big game in England, Saturday night game, so it should be.
Okay, give me Telkom
Tight
knockout. I enjoy Telkom
Yeah,
knockout.
well,
Budge, the South African football is
Yeah.
very interesting at the moment. Some good football being
Yeah.
played till you get to national side.
Well, until the national side. Yeah, this won't be easy. They're playing in Bethlehem, Goble Park. I think Wits, the draw in a lot of these games are the play. I think Wits will get through, Paul.
Wits top of the log.
Wits top of the log. We've actually backed them to win the competition. We got 12 to 1. I couldn't believe the price. So I fancy Wits to get through there, Paul. Now, Baraka, Golden Arrows, they both can't score goals. You know, Golden Arrows, they've
Yeah.
won one of the last 9. They've scored 3 goals. Baraka at home, hard to beat. If ever there was a game that had draw written all over it, an extra time, it's Baraka versus Golden Arrows.
Yeah.
You know, Sundown Celtic, they drew 0-0 the other day. It was on TV. You know, Celtic played well in the first half, but going to Pretoria to play Sundowns isn't easy. You know, Sundowns are out of CAF and all the major competitions. Obviously, they're going to put the 8 to 10 Sundowns. Should be a good thing. Now, the best bet of the round should be Pirates against Eric Tinkler's Chipper. Chipper can't score goals. They pour away from home. It's a night game, so they can't blame the daylight, the pitch,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So
Pirates, good thing.
Nice team. They're going well. Should be too good.
Okay, let's look at the other Telkom games. Maritzburg, our boys.
Paul, they've played 5 home games, haven't scored a goal.
That's who's in
It's
charge
shocking.
now?
Well, it's still Fadlu Davies, but they play at night, Paul, and it's like an ice rink.
What do they play with the dark ball
You know,
or
it's still at
something?
Harry Guala. The ball just keeps skating away. It's terrible to watch. I watched
And is
them play
this a
Cape
night
Town
game
City.
again?
It's
Yeah.
a night game, 8 o'clock kickoff. Now, Highlands have only lost 1 game this year. They lost to Pirates. So another game at 2 to 1. The draw has it all
Yeah,
over
all
it.
over
You know?
it, yeah.
But, Maritzburg are going to thrash somebody, but the way it's just terrible watching them, especially at Harry Guala. Polokwane Supersport should be a humdinger. They played the other day, they drew 1-1. Supersport are the cup specialists. They got
Yeah.
beaten in the MTN final. Cape Town City beat them on penalties. But they had a lot of players with Bafana during the week. So if ever there's a game, it could be an upset. I know 14 to 10 is not really an upset price, but Polokwane could do a number on them, you know.
Kaiser Chiefs
Should be
6
too
to 10.
good, Paul. You know, Chiefs always get to the semi-finals. Black Leopards, tough task. struggling of late. Got to fancy Kaiser Chiefs.
And our local boys?
Well, I'm a Zulu. They had 6 points docked the other day.
It's on Tuesday.
It's on Tuesday night in Umlazi. Yeah, hard to beat at Kings Willatini Stadium. I think Amazulu beat them 17-10, Paul. But Tuesday night, I didn't include them in the bet. So long weekend to wait for your money. Yeah.
Right, Budge. Let's look at the soccer sixes.
Karaoke. Now we start off with it's a bit of a mix and match. The Chelsea United game with the PSL. I've got one banker, 5 win and draws. I've gone Chelsea win and draw against United. Barocca win and draw against Golden Arrows. Bidvest Wits win and draw at Free State Stars. I've thrown the draw in with Mamelodi Sundowns and Bloemfontein Celtic. I've gone the home team, Maritzburg United win and draw at Highlands Park, and I think Pirates will be too good for Chipper.
Okay, let's look at the next one.
Yeah, the Premiership one, I've gone 3 bankers, 3 fields. I've gone the field with the local South Coast derby, Bournemouth and Southampton. I've gone the field, Cardiff Fulham.
Yeah.
I think Man City will be too good for Burnley. While I like Newcastle, they can't be trusted. I've got Newcastle win the field with Brighton. I think Spurs will be too good for West Ham, and I fancy Wolves to beat Watford 162.
Okie dokie, that's not bad at all. And this one is the 10.
Yeah, the soccer 10. Yeah, I've obviously had to shave it in some of the games. I've gone Bournemouth win and draw at home against Southampton. I've gone the field with Cardiff against Fulham. I've banked Man City to beat Burnley. I've gone Newcastle win and draw at home against Brighton. I've gone the field with Stoke City against Birmingham. I've banked Tottenham to beat West Ham, West Brom to beat Wigan, Wolves to beat Watford. I've gone the field with Aston Villa, Swansea, and I've banked Liverpool to beat Huddersfield, 216.
Okay, now the impossible one.
The one we got 12 again 2 weeks ago. The soccer 13, our usual 5 bankers and 8 win and draws.
But just sorry to interrupt you. Did they pay out in 12?
Yeah, 12, okay. 11. Got a few hundred. Can't complain. I went Bournemouth win and draw against Southampton. I've gone Cardiff win and draw at home against Fulham. I've banked Newcastle. I had to find another banker, so I went Newcastle to beat Brighton, Tottenham to beat West Ham, Wolves to beat Watford. I've gone Swansea City win and draw at Aston Villa, looking for the upset. Likewise, Bristol City win and draw at Brentford. Second page, I've gone Queen's Park Rangers win and draw at Ipswich. I've gone Stoke City win and draw at home against Birmingham. I've banked West Brom to beat Wigan. I've banked Notts Forest to beat Norwich. I've gone win and draw Reading against Millwall, and I've gone Preston win and draw at Hull City.
Your beloved Preston.
Yeah, we'll be on a roll now, Paul. Our main strikers come back, so hopefully we'll.
Right, Budge, as we say, the best part. Let's get these bets. Can you formulate them?
Okey-dokey.
But don't forget, at the end of this, I want your best bet and I want your best value bet. Okay, let's
go
Premier
Premiership Quad. I've gone Tottenham to beat West Ham. I've gone Wolves to beat Watford. I've gone over 2.5 goals in the Huddersfield-Leicester game. Now,
Liverpool.
Huddersfield-Liverpool, sorry. Now, I've gone Leicester to win and draw at Arsenal and both teams to score. I think
Arsenal wins, we're gone.
Arsenal win, we're gone. Yeah,
okay.
I think it's a 2-2 somewhere around there.
Okay.
I think Vardy will score at least a couple. So the odds on that game are escalated everything. So 4,000 to 200.
Yeah.
The Championship quartet. I think Notts Forest will beat Norwich. I think West Brom will beat Wigan. And I've gone win and draw Bristol City at Brentford and Swansea City at Aston Villa. 3,400 to 200.
Okay.
Telkom knockout, Paul. I've gone Orlando Pirates to beat Chipper. And we're going for Wits. I thought it was great value to win the cup.
When do we get the cup?
It's in January. I think it's in February, the final.
That's
all right, Paul. We did it with.
The money.
It's okay. We'll have it in the bank like we did with France.
Yeah.
But Telkom knockout. Both teams to score the 5 games. I've gone Cardiff Fulham, Huddersfield Liverpool, Everton Palace, Blackburn Leeds, and Derby Sheffield United.
I'm going to ask you a question at this stage. You're using teams. So if you can just put that back up on the stage, on the screen and big, so I can just go through it with you. They made it even smaller.
Yeah.
But let me look at my notes.
Yeah.
Okay. Your teams, you've picked, there we are. Cardiff, Fulham near the bottom, Huddersfield near the bottom, Crystal Palace near the bottom. Yeah. Why you put those teams in both teams to score? Well, they don't score much always. You've
got to have a go. You can't sit back. Draws aren't going to get Cardiff or Fulham out. They're both going to have a go. Now, defensively, I think they're both weak.
Have they got the ability to score goals?
Well, Cardiff scored 2 against Arsenal, conceded 3. Fulham score every game. They scored against Spurs, only Man City, they never scored at. Huddersfield are long throw merchants. It's going to be Liverpool will score, we know that.
Yeah.
I just can see Huddersfield getting a set piece.
Yeah.
And they go. Everton always score. Palace, well, When I took the bet, Sahar's available, Blackburn leads, the other two.
Okay, let's look at the Spanish omelette.
The Spanish omelette, yeah. I've gone Atletico Bilbao to beat Villarreal. I've gone Real Betis to beat Real Valladolid. And I've gone over 2.5 goals in the Eibar Athletic Bilbao and Real Sociedad Girona game.
So you haven't used the big guns?
No, I've left. Well, Real Madrid play lunchtime kickoff tomorrow. They've got Levante at home. They've shaved all the odds. And the big game is with Barcelona against Seville.
Oh, yeah, big game.
You wouldn't believe who's top of the league in Spain.
Seville.
Seville, you're
I
right.
do believe it.
Hottest place in Europe. But anyway, big game. So,
Collis King?
Collis King, 6 on extra. I've gone Tottenham to beat Watford. Forest to beat Norwich.
To beat West Ham.
Sorry, West Ham. Sorry.
I know my boys.
Yeah. I've gone Pirates to beat Chippa. I've gone Juventus to beat Genoa. I've gone Real Betis to beat Real Valladolid. And I've gone Palmeiras, who I think they've won the last 8 home games in Brazil, to beat Cheira Sunday night. So that worked out at 3,300 to 200.
All right, Budge. What people are asking for, your best bet of the football.
Well, I like Notts Forest at a value, 12 to 10 points.
Is that your value bet?
Well,
I want your best bet and your value bet.
Well,
I don't want 12 to 10 to me can be a best bet.
I can't tip you 1 to 14 Man City. Any mother can tip you
that's
that.
right.
You know, I like Spurs. In the Premiership, I like Spurs, Paul.
Spurs to win.
8.5 to 10.
And your value bet?
Well, I think it's Nottingham Forest. I like that team this year, Paul.
So just get it right for the punters out there. Your best bet is Spurs. Your value bet is Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, if I was in last one standing, Spurs would be my pick. Yeah.
Lovely. I wish I was.
Well, Man City, obviously.
You haven't got those.
Got those,
Budge, thanks very much. Excellent. And there we go. A lot of football starting from Friday in the Championship, working all the way through to Tuesday. Very good football. Get yourself cozied up for the weekend. Make sure you stay on side.